Hi, it's Nancy with Gardens Grow, and it's a nice, cool June day. This June the 9th, and I can't believe God's just extending my spring planting time, and I've actually still been planting some. We had some sales, and I've already shown you some of the things that I purchased, and so I'm just really enjoying the garden, and it's changing so fast, and things are getting bigger and got more little things in, and just enjoying the garden, and hope you're enjoying it with me. I've had a busy day in the garden today. I don't even remember what all I've done, but I planted a few more things, not very many, but a few that I found on, well, not necessarily on sale. One of them was on sale, but as it turned out, it didn't hardly have anything in the package anyway. Supposed to have two echinacea, and there was some little roots I planted, but I doubt if they were, I think they were too far gone. And then also a couple of orange phlox and tall phlox, and I think they too were just little roots that were falling off the main thing and probably won't make it, but I planted them just in case. And then there's some liatris in there, and they looked like most of them were pretty good, although a couple or so were soft, so they probably won't make it either, but some of them probably will. So those hopefully will be worth the $3 anyway. And I watered everything good. I had to water my little new plants in anyway. I don't know if you can tell how this has just kind of like it's got neon lights on that blue. It may not show up that much in the picture or in the little clip, but we'll try it and see, because it's a very pretty, this is sea holly, and of course the yellow yarrow and a rose. And this is one of the other little plants I got today, which is looking kind of wilty right now, but I think it'll come out of it and look great. I'm hoping it will anyway. And I purchased a little 4-pack of coleus, because they're perfect for filling in any little empty spot or any spot that loses the plant it had in it, or even in the later on in the season, if something gives up, you can stick a little coleus clipping off of one of your established coleus, and they just root pretty easily. You might need to catch a day when it's a little cooler or overcast and give it a good chance, but with just a little rooting powder and put it in damp ground and keep it damp, it usually puts a root down pretty quickly. I also put some kills weeds, not grass, down because my grass is full of weeds again. I had it where it was very, very little weeds in my grass, and then my husband started mowing the alleys and different places, and just, which it does need to be done, so it's fine, but at the same time it wasn't fine because it brought them all back into my yard, and I had worked so hard to get it out of there, so I decided to try it again. But the fact is, probably every time he mows somewhere else, I'm going to end up needing to put down weed killer. So I don't know if I can actually get it to stay out of there or not. But I also found where I had planted in the back this Dashondra, Silver Falls Dashondra, I found 4 or 6 little tiny ones coming up from seed, so I put those around in different places too. and I think they'll come up and look good. And one other thing I did was my evergreen trees, I keep getting little seedling trees growing up under them, so I cleaned that out one more time. I've already done it twice, but just didn't get them all. It's hard to get them all that first round, so I did that again today, and I feel good about getting that done. The hollyhocks the bloom is looking good. My stalks are not looking so good. They have this disease, whatever that's called, on them, and I'll need to take them down, but I'll wait until after the bloom it stops being pretty, and then I'll take the hollyhocks down and let them come back from seed. There'll be some seed come up for next year, I'm pretty sure. And this little angel's pot was like a vision in pink today, so I wanted to be sure and get her on here because these little petunias may be gone tomorrow, but then again others may be opened up. It's getting late, but you know, when you work out here almost all day, you just kind of feel the need to have a little bit of time when you just roam around or sit down and just look and be a part of the garden. So I'm swinging at mosquitoes, so if I make any jerky movements, you'll know what's going on. There's a pretty daylily. Good thing I got that today, because of course they only last for one day. This is the tall verbena, and it is a host plant to the little butterflies. I think it's the little, oh, now I can't think of the name of them, the little gray silvery hair streak, I believe they might be called. But they're very, very pretty in the garden, especially if you have something yellow, like, I don't know if you can tell in this one how the purple verbena and then that yellow lily behind it, how pretty that is. But they're also a little bit invasive. I try to get out here and clip off these bloom, because otherwise they do put a lot of seeds, more than I want in the garden, even though they are very pretty. So this little lily is looking a bit shabby now, but I wish you could smell it. It smells heavenly. Look at that pretty dark daylily. Butterfly plants in bloom up against that blue larkspur. That's really pretty. And I noticed this today while I was working out here, how pretty this double red and white petunia was looking. You can't see it so much from the front, but you can see it from the back. And I'm noticing this pretty double daylily blooming in yellow. And right across behind it and across from it is this beautiful bright red canna. You know, there are the pretty dark daylilies. And my St. John's wort is blooming. I'll go over here and see if I can zoom in on one of these pretty blooms. If I can get it where it's not out of focus. I'm swatting mosquitoes. But isn't this pretty how it just really looks like it does have a little fiber optic top to it there. Today, June the 9th, June the 12th, I spent a good 3.5 hours or more looking through my seeds. I have got so much planted that I'm just now getting around to looking through my seeds to plant some of them. And I don't have a lot of room left to plant seeds, but I definitely want to plant some seeds. And actually I have planted purple splash peppers, a couple of castor bean, and a couple of scarlet runner beans. Daylilies are blooming, and even though they only last one day, there's usually several to take their place the next day or the next few days. Get over here and get these old ones clipped off for you so you can enjoy the fresh ones more. I went to visit a friend, and actually her mother in the hospital yesterday, and took my sister, who's also their friend, and we kind of got to know them more so in different stages of our life. We both worked with them, but they were friends before we even worked together. So I've been busy doing that. We also stopped and saw my mother and got home late last night. There's another one of those horrible bloom bugs that'll eat this bloom right up if I let it, which I'm not planning on letting it. Excuse me a minute while I squash these things. And I hate to have them in my hands, but I hate worse to have them on my flower. So anyway, I'm just enjoying the garden so much. The weather is beautiful. It's so beautiful. I need to be out here every minute of it, but instead I was going through paper sack after paper sack after paper sack of flower seeds that I've saved from last year and previous years. Let me go back here. I see a pretty lily over here blooming too. Isn't that gorgeous? Some of these are blooming too, but they're not standing up. I need to probably stake these, but they're very pretty also. So also I took my friend a bouquet. She didn't even feel like looking at it, but I think hopefully she's looked at it today and enjoyed it. Here's another bug over here I've got to get. I'm sorry about this, but I just can't let these things stay on here. And this type of bug can fly, so I have to be careful with it. But I took her some of these daisies in the bouquet that I took. Mostly it just looked like a cream colored lily with a whole bunch of meadow flowers with it. But she's the lady that's had an extreme influence on my life. One of the greatest Christian ladies that I'll probably ever meet. And just a wonderful lady. I love her so. And I don't know, she's getting older, and I know we all have to make that trip, that long trip, and I just hate to see her not feeling well at all. But I pray God will be with them all in every situation. And she's just been such a joy to my life. Also, she's the lady that not only encouraged me in the Lord, but she also got me interested in flowers. Her specialty was roses, but she loved all the flowers. And I can remember one giant coxcomb, brilliant wine red coxcomb that was outside her bedroom window. She would point it out to me every now and then because it just kept getting bigger and bigger, prettier and prettier. So while we're talking about bigger and bigger and prettier, look what opened up. This beautiful spider daylily, and it is so big. You can tell there with my hand, it's much bigger than my hand, and just it's kind of spindly out and just so big and beautiful. I love these. And this is the one that I recently told my friend, because I had given her one. It hasn't bloomed yet, but I told her when it blooms she's gonna scream. Look at the size of that orange lily. I can't tell you how much better I feel just to get my purple splash peppers in the ground finally. And I'm not that much of a pepper lover, but the foliage on the purple splash pepper is so awesomely beautiful. It is literally white and black and purple, and with little bits of green occasionally, but it's such a unique foliage that I just love it for that. And it trails down. It's just a beautiful plant. So those few little plants I told you about may be the only ones I get in the ground today, but I do have a lot more picked out, and I'll go through those and try to get those planted as soon as I can. I think we're supposed to get some more rain this weekend, and today is Wednesday, so hopefully I'll get them in by the time we get the rain, although it probably won't be today because I still got to water, and I do have to water because I didn't water yesterday because we ran around some, and then I did water the front, but I must water the back again, and so I'll probably water the front also, try to keep things wet while they're new, and then have to keep it wet later because it'll be too hot not to. But today was, like I said, a gorgeous day, and I don't know why we're getting beautiful June weather, because it's been so long since we had that it seems terribly unusual, but very wonderful. Look at this pretty blue verbena. Oh, I just realized that most of the little clematis are gone. Remember when it was full of these beautiful blooms? And now they're just little seed heads left. And it may have a spudoric little bloom here or there through the summer, but it probably won't bloom again until the fall, and then it won't be nearly as big a showing as it was in the spring. But they, to me, are always worth it to have them in the garden, even for that one glorious time when they're full of bloom. This beautiful clematis got a late start for me because of the rains, I believe. I think it just was waiting till the sun shined down on it more and it stopped raining to bloom, because it's usually blooming by Mother's Day, and this year it was a good week after Mother's Day before it bloomed, but it's still blooming for me, so that's wonderful. The blue is sea holly, of course. I think I've already put that on the a little video clip that I'll put on with this one also. The butterflies and the bees love it, as well as the yarrow, the yellow yarrow there. Look at this beautiful pink elodie lily. This is oregano. It's trailing oregano, and it is so pretty. It has little purple bracts on it when it, I don't even know if you call it a bloom, but it gets a pretty purple color on it. It's just beautiful. And I've got to get busy watering. So I'm going to have to let the picture taking go, which you probably can tell that is my favorite part, is just roaming around here looking at it myself and taking pictures of it and sharing it with you. Definitely my very favorite part. This little Esperanza, I may need to put in a bigger pot or just change the dirt. I've noticed, or the soil, I've noticed it's kind of yellowy and kind of wilty at sometimes during the day. So I hope I don't lose that. I'm hoping that will bloom for you. I think it did last year. I can't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure it did. It has a beautiful yellow trumpet bloom on it. And I noticed my little candle plant or shrimp plant has more more little blooms coming up on it. So that's exciting too. The impatiens are still looking wonderful in this little strawberry pot. And I think I did finally, I said it last year and I was wrong, but I think I finally found the thing that I'm going to love the most in my strawberry pot. I just love the way it's looking right now. Look what a leap my caladiums took. They were just barely unfurled, I believe, the last time I showed them to you, and now they're just up in large leaves dancing there in the wind. The bells of Ireland are taking off and going again this year too. I'm so happy for that. And these actually all came back from seed from last year. And also last year in this seed box I had the annual butterfly plant, and I did find my seeds for that, which I have not planted yet, but I will do that soon as I can. I want to get several different things planted. I definitely want zinnies. I love all the zinnies. There's not a zinnia I don't like. That's kind of the way I'm with the coleus too. I just love them all. But I'll definitely want to put some of the shorter ones in my pots and probably some of the taller ones in my back borders, and just any place I can find a spot for them, that's probably where they will go. And my husband was saying, I don't know where you're going to find a spot for them. And I reminded him what I told you about my Weight Watchers instructor that said she knew that you could get a cup and a half of ice cream in a half a cup of ice cream if you just kept packing and stacking. And I know it's true. So I'm pretty sure that I can figure out how to pack and stack my plants enough to get some of those seeds in. I also found one of the oh gosh, now I can't think of the name of it, the celosia. I found one of the celosias that I had planted last year and I never got one of them to come up, so I'll try that again because it's actually a blend of it looks like a deep pink by the package and a yellow, just blended together. It looks like it's going to really be eye-catching, very pretty. So I'm hoping to get one of those going this year too, to show you and to see myself. I so need to get busy, and I so want to roam around out here in this beautiful weather with a breeze blowing, and it's just so unusual for June for us, and I'm so happy to be having it and just to be able to be out here in that. It's just wonderful. I still see snails pretty regularly, like almost every day, but so far they haven't taken anything out. They have taken a piece of a plant out, especially my impatiens, but I'm feeling lucky that they haven't done more than that, and hopefully I'll be able to keep them at bay with coffee and coffee grounds mixed together and just pour that on the soil, and it seems to make them back off some at least. that may be all it does. I'm loving this little, I think it's called Scaevola fan flower. Looks like a little fan. So pretty. I had one of these last year too, and it got hot and it went away, so it just kind of went dormant and it never did come back. But I'm hoping, because I put this in a little bit more shade, it's just got the dappled sunlight through the maple tree, and I'm hoping that it will stay for me. I purchased another blue bacopa, and I put it right here in front by our front door, so I'm hoping it will do well, and we can enjoy that all summer. Hopefully it won't just go away like some of them do, but we're going to certainly give it a try. It does get filtered sun coming through, and also it's in the shade enough that I think it'll save it too. But I must go in now. Thank you again for enjoying, or for walking with me in a garden scroll. So I'm watering now. As you may be able to tell, there's some water droplets on this lily, but I had to go back in and get the camera because this is a day lily, so it won't be here tomorrow. There will be some more open up later, but they're not quite big enough to plan on them opening tomorrow. But isn't this a beautiful day lily? I love how it's edged in white. It's like it's outlined in white, and it was called Indian Giver.